whole lot going on today. Okay, so I have 3 out of the 6 people in my house that are super sick right now. We got a kiddo playing right out the door right here in the bathtub because he's going crazy, you know, 5 going crazy in the house. So I put him in the bathtub with some toys and some goggles, and he's going to town right now. And it's right outside my door, so I'm watching him. So as all of my sickies are downstairs on the couch right now with medicine and they're just vegetating, I am going to start tackling cleaning upstairs and disinfecting up here and doing all the things when you have a house full of sick people that you need to do. I swear, we have never been at, well, let me take that back. My husband and kids have never, I'm gonna jinx myself, been as sick as they have from the end of January until now. Now is the 4th of April. So literally for the past 2 months, so we'll say the beginning of February, for the past 2 months, my husband and my kids are like fine for a week and then they're super sick. Zach has battled pneumonia twice in the last 2 months, where he had pneumonia, he started getting better, he got it again, and he got better, and then the kids are just getting sick off of what he had. Now, they never got pneumonia, thank the Lord, but they were still getting sick on top of it. So who's taking care of anybody? Me. Thankfully, again, I haven't gotten the sickness. My second oldest Jay started having a like stuffy nose like Wednesday-ish, and then, you know, I'm like, okay, it's just normal cold, like the normal cold, whatever, it's fine, because that's all he complained about, was just he had a stuffy nose, but he would still be bopping all around the house. Then fast forward to Friday, yesterday, I wake up to my 3rd child being super sick. He's my wild man. Colton was so sick yesterday. He has been battling fevers, high fevers, for the last 24 hours. And I also want to say before saying this, my husband and I are both medically trained. So what I'm about to say before people freak out, being like, why didn't you take him to the hospital? Because we're both medically trained to do. And if things have gotten to a certain point, then we would have taken him in. So he was battling fevers yesterday. He woke up, he had around 103.2 temperature yesterday morning when he woke up, complaining of a headache. The first thing I just do now is just COVID test, and we have COVID tests here. And that Jace was negative when I first, like when I tested him when he started getting sick. Colton's negative, so it's not COVID. And then a bunch of my friends, because I do go outside and play with the neighborhood kids when they all get home from school, were like, hey, just so you know, there's a stomach bug going around school right now, because he did vomit. And I was like, okay, that's what it is. We got a stomach bug. Jace didn't throw up, but one time, but we like kind of just put that with mucus, like, you know, the mucus with the, you know, going on the back of your throat, and it didn't sit well with dinner because he ate a normal dinner and he vomited at dinner. Well, Colton did the same thing the night before, but he wasn't complaining of any like runny nose or stuffy nose or anything. We're like, okay, like they're getting colds, mucus down the back, because I'm one of those people, like, if I get a cold, I just don't want to eat, and if I make myself eat, I can get sick from it. So we just chalked it up. So the next morning when Colton woke up, he had a fever, I was like, okay, this is something else. And I was hearing about stomach bug. I'm like, okay, stomach bug, got it. Everyone in the house is gonna get sick. Well, he kept just burning through Tylenol. Like, Tylenol wasn't even lasting. By the time it finally hit him, which was like, I would give it to him and it would be like 2 hours into it, and it finally hit him, which is the full, that's also when, you know, medicine full peaks is halfway through its lifespan, right? So take Tylenol every 4 hours. When it gets to 2 hours, it's at its most usefulness, okay? So it brought it down, but you're in your PJs. Did you hear? In my PJs. And man, this fever is no joke. He was very just blah, just felt like, you know, utter poop. And then we're flip-flopping with also giving him ibuprofen, you know, and it's not keeping the fever under control. He's getting very short windows of being okay, and then he's just burning up again. Like, oh, 24-hour bug, everyone had fevers, but by the next day they're fine. You had like 6 hours of really high fevers. I'm like, okay, cool, we're starting to get like a breaking point. Then last night he's in our room and he's laying down, and I see him just, he's laying there and he's just very like staring off into space. And I tested him again, and that's when it's 104.1. I'm like, okay, this is not good. So we're putting cold compresses on him. We're putting it on his forehead. We're putting it under his arms. Like, he's stripped down out of clothes. Like, he's not under blankets. He's naked. And we were kind of battling that literally for a couple hours last night. And finally around 1 o'clock in the morning, like, my husband and I, okay, if this next round, like, we're going to give the medicine 30 minutes to kick in. If it doesn't bring it under, like, we're going to have to go to the hospital because we're not maintaining it. It's just creeping up and creeping up and creeping up. As soon as we would take the cold compresses off of him and, like, give him a couple minutes and see if, like, his body was going to do its thing, no, it spiked right back up. Thankfully, around 2, after we checked him again, we stabilized under 102.5. And I'm like, okay, I can deal with 102.5. Like, 104 and higher, obviously not. But we're fine with stabilizing it under 102.5. So that he was waking up every 45 minutes. We had him in the bedroom with us last night. I did not sleep. My husband barely slept. And of course, our other kid's waking up this morning. Then I got another kiddo who doesn't feel good. My husband winds up waking up. He's sick as a dog. And I'm just like, no! So, spent the morning getting all the sickies, medicine, getting them cuddles, relaxing, and got all them situated. Colton's faring a lot better though this morning, and actually today, even though he's still running a fever. One at one point was 103.1, but he was bebopping all around the house, like completely different than yesterday. Yesterday he was very just not wanting to move, wanting to sleep. Today we have a fever, but we're bebopping all over the house, so that I'm okay with. And then it finally came down this afternoon and we're hitting around 101, so that's looking good. But now I got my husband not feeling good and I got another kiddo not feeling good, so I'm like, okay. But they're all situated on the couch. I'm pretty sure 2 of them when I left were still sleeping. My husband and Jace were still asleep because Jace started running a fever. And Colton is just kind of watching a movie right now. So I'm coming up here. I'm stripping beds, number 1. Starting to wash things. Gonna be disinfecting everything in here. I'm gonna putting some laundry away. I also got, please stop fighting! I also got baskets I need to, like, a little bit of toys that they keep in here need to get kind of organized. So I got some baskets and we're gonna just kind of straighten up. So come with me as I straighten up, do laundry, and disinfect everything. We got Lysol wipes, we got Lysol spray. We're gonna, I need to dust and everything in here. I'm gonna vacuum. I'm gonna get these sheets off the bed first. Stuffed animals will also be getting washed from all the sickness that's going around, so that's happening as well. Okay, so one thing that's super cute, my kids in the window have these little plants. Now it started to die, and actually now it looks like it's coming back, which is super cool. We got these out of a KiwiCo. We got these out of a KiwiCo box that we get every month for my sister-in-law who got the kids a subscription for Christmas. And this one is squash, and like I said, it looks like it's starting to come back, which super excites me because they were so sad that it died. So I need to take all the dead stuff off of this, make sure. Jace is my little farmer. He cannot wait. So my husband retires and it'll be 5 years this August. So we're almost at 5 years until my husband retires, and he is so excited because when we retire, or when my husband retires, we are moving back to where my husband is from, which is Florida. I'm from Maryland, but Florida has my heart, which I think is so funny that I wound up marrying someone who's from Florida. I've loved Florida ever since I was little, and my parents took us there for our first time for Disney World. I'm just very much a warm weather person, and I love Maryland during the end of spring when it warms up, summer, and then like fall. I am not a winter person. I absolutely hated our time in Connecticut because it's so cold there all the time. Connecticut is a beautiful place. Lots of places to go hiking, beautiful scenery, but I am definitely not a cold person. So I was so excited even when we came down this far and being in Virginia, because it's you know, it's way warmer than being in Connecticut is. It still gets cold here, but the time frame of being cold is nowhere near the same as Connecticut. But Jace, he's excited because, and what they don't know is our next duty station is going to be, hopefully, my husband's working on it right now, but it seems to be going in our favor, that we're going to be going to the Florida area, and we are going to be buying our house, and we're going to be getting set up for the second half of our life post military life, which I'm super excited about. And we're going to be going towards the end of the year with family to Florida, and we're going to be with Zach's family, but we're going to be going and we're going to be looking for land where we plan on moving. When we move, it'll be June of next year. We're supposed to be detaching. June of next year, my husband's supposed to be detaching. I say we because I used to be active duty, by the way, because I've had people be like, you're not active duty, you shouldn't say we. I'm used to saying we. I used to be active duty. I went through PCS changes all the time. My husband is detaching from his current duty station in June of next year. So we're looking to move by next summer. So we want to start getting, especially with the way the market and everything is, by next, you know, the end of late spring next year into early summer, get that situated. I'm already starting to do licensing stuff for my real estate stuff in Florida down there. And we're just so excited. We're so excited to get the next half of our life started. But I'm even more excited to give them a place where Jace wants a place to garden and farm so bad. This kid, since he was little, is obsessed with growing things, and we're so excited to give that to him. So the fact that we saved his little plant makes my heart happy. I'm gonna go give him some water. I'm gonna hang it back up in the window. Squash. Now this one is beans. We did get one bean plant off of this already. And I don't know if it's completely dead. I see another seed in here. So, oh, actually, you know what? Is that growth? Oh, we got another one growing. So I'm not going to touch this except for like the end right here. I'm going to leave this. I took the dead off and get some water, but if you see right there, there's another one coming out. I need to get one of those like hanging little stuffed animal things for other stuffed animals. They're driving me crazy. I used to, we had one in our old house, and when we moved, I don't know what happened to it. And then actually, I had cleaned all the stuffed animals before we left. When we transferred, like, what is it, 20 months ago, almost 2 years ago from Connecticut. I cleaned all the stuffed animals and I put them in a bag, and I couldn't figure out where the bag was. I thought we lost it for the longest time. However, it got put into storage behind like an old bed frame and everything that we had that we want to keep because it came with our bedroom set. When we bought it, it was a queen bed, but we upgraded the years so it came. But we didn't want to just toss the headboard and the footboard. It's a really nice headboard and footboard. So we figured, okay, when we get to our forever house, we'll use that headboard and footboard in like a guest room. But what are you saying hello for? I still haven't found the actual stuffed animal hammock, so I need to buy one of those now. The other funny thing is, these stuffed animals are still half of what we had in Connecticut. I had the kids go in and downsize it, and these are the ones that we stayed with. They stayed with, and like this one, I can't get rid of this one. It's so cute. Like this was Jace's first little rattle stuffed animal we got from Disney World. We went to Disney World and he was a baby. It's like, can't get rid of all the stuffed animals. And these two kids actually pile them every night onto their beds and sleep with a mound of stuffed animals on each of them. So yeah. My other two get mad because they'll go into their rooms and take some of their stuffies and bring them in here. And I'm like, that's mine. I'm like, stop taking all of them. You guys don't need that many in your bed. So my son got this Roblox toy that you can literally take every piece of the Roblox apart and like put new pieces on. But I'm finding them all over the place, so we need a basket for them. One of the things that I find super easy to do, especially when you have tiny toys and you're trying to disinfect stuff, like that's why I like containers. It's like just put it in here, just toss it, and salad, disinfected. One of the questions I get asked all the time is why my kids' rooms look so empty. We don't let kids have toys in their room until they get to a certain age. When they're young, like my 5-year-old, the only thing he has in his room is his bed, his dresser, and his books that look like that. When they're little, it's just too easy for them to stay up and have issues falling asleep when there's too much going on in their room. We found it, especially with Weston, our oldest one, having autism issues. And our very first house that we had was a 3-bedroom ranger, a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom ranger. It was 1,100 square feet, and there really wasn't that many places to put his toys because we used his, like, we had our main master bedroom, and then his bedroom was directly across from us, and we had his toys first in like a little like toy box out in the living room. But obviously as he got bigger, he got more and more toys, and we couldn't keep them all in his room. And we kept our 3rd bedroom as our office and guest room because we always had people come into our home, so our guest room was never something that was just not used. We always used our guest bedroom. Between family and friends that were constantly coming and staying with us. We had friends who were, you know, going to be deploying, and their spouses went back home early because they were going to be deploying for a year, that wound up staying with us. So our 3rd bedroom was always utilized. So we couldn't really use our 3rd bedroom as a toy area. And around the time that we noticed issues with Weston and like autism, his room, he would never sleep. He already has sleep issues as it is, but that child never slept. And we were told, like, hey, you gotta strip his room down because he's overstimulated in his bedroom, and you gotta just have it be his, you know, his bed, his clothing, and he even, like, we would put wall art on the wall, like wall decals, pictures, and he would just rip it off the walls. So he really started the whole, it has to be kind of nothing. And we just saw the benefit of having, you know, young children and not having too much in the room. So we always have a dedicated play area, even if that means in some of the houses we lived in that we lost space that we could have used for other things. we made sure to always have a dedicated play area for the kids. That way they had a space for all their toys to go and it wasn't an issue. Piggy banks. And our kids do things like they put stickers on their dressers and like they kind of make their room their own that way. And we were both a-okay with that. But as the kids start getting older, they start understanding, you know, bedtime is bedtime. They kind of earned almost the right to have stuff in their room. So we are letting them slowly have things in their room, especially things that are special to them that they don't want getting broken. Like i.e. his speedboat, the Pokemon cards, and then Robux. Yeah. Now, I'm going to vacuum out of the room. Can we talk about just how crazy this is? So first of all, my kids' room get vacuumed at least twice a week, if not sometimes 3 times a week, because we have pets and I have allergies. But it's still shocking to me that every time I vacuum, it's like I completely emptied that before I even started vacuuming this room. Because I'd already vacuumed my bedroom before being like, oh, I probably should, you know, turn my camera on. But that's just insane to me. That's insane to me. And this is like multiple times a week that this gets that much up. And they're not allowed to wear shoes in their rooms. Like, I don't get it. It's like, where does the dirt come from? Where? Now I'm moving on to Gage's room. So the other room is Colton and Jace's. This one's Gage's, and as you can see, smaller bedroom. He has the smallest room out of all the kids. And we just have his books right here, his bed, and then his dresser. No toys in here. I'm gonna get moving though. These in the washing machine. And then this is actually Weston's room. I'm gonna get the sheets off his bed real quick to throw in. Like I said, Weston has more stuff in his room. Like, he's got the cube shelf, a TV, his desk over here. Unless he's like doing some sheet work or something with me, he has school up here because of his sensory issues, and he can get overloaded a lot of times with the younger 3 being allowed in the office. actually going to use one of these containers for the toys for the tub, for the toys for Gage, the mat tub. See these little baskets, man. You can always, I always get extra baskets from Dollar Tree if I need to go. I always wind up finding something else I can use with them. Okay, we've had dinner. Colton's fever has spiked yet again. I just took his temperature. He's been pretty much fine all day. Like, he's had more of a low grade temp all day, and then it spiked again. It went back up to 103, and now he's feeling like bleh again. So looks like it's gonna be another long night. But finished getting this room cleaned. Gage's room is gonna be really easy to wipe down and vacuum. I've already changed over the sheets. The boys are done. They just got done drying, so I put theirs in the dryer. I just gotta wipe everything down. It's literally so crazy to me. He has to have, like, everyone thought it was the stomach flu. Like, everyone was like, oh, there's a stomach bug going around. He must have, like, the flu, because if he had, like, a stomach virus, he certainly would be throwing up a lot more than he is. And he's only done that twice. I'm gonna get him, if you've seen my homeschool video, my homeschool room tour video, they have like these little pegboards we have downstairs. So I'm gonna get him one of this. I put the shelf down here and I had to put it back up here because it was too low. So I need to fill holes, and I'm gonna put that pegboard right here for him, since we're officially moving him up here for his school stuff, because that's where he prefers it. And that is fine with me. You know, preteen life, getting into that teenage life, I'm okay with that. This is another one of those KiwiCo box things that we made. They have these little, hold on. Am I doing it? There you go, red. So he can put it on different plates. Blue. Thought that was pretty cool. Alright, this is the following morning. I had to stop last night for dinner and sickies and all sorts of things. So this is the boys' room. Completely clean. Sheets back on the bed. We got stuffies in the dryer right now. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, here is Weston's room. All the stuffies are clean. Fresh bedding. We did awesome. I even last night completely went through his closet. We had a bunch of clothes up there that were given to us that we couldn't fit into at the time, but now he does. So I rotated everything through his closet and feeling good. Alright, Gage's room is all done as well. Like I said, his room is really easy to straighten up because there's not too much in it. Cool little lights on his bed. Bathroom was also cleaned last night. I unfortunately did not film myself doing that. But nice and clean and disinfected.